What up, Mary Macavirus? Morning, 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 morning. It's 8:28 in my city, Chicago, Tuesday, July 29, 2025. 88% on my phone. Look, Mary Macavirus, for the ones who are not being appreciated, getting up early, going to work, working for people who don't appreciate you. This video is for you. Let me give you a couple of incidents, what happened to me and what I know for sure, and why I've always been independent for real. And even when I helped others, like Oprah Winfrey. Remember, Oprah Winfrey was working as a news reporter in 1980. I'll put the video in the description of this video. And she was working with this white guy who had, 5 kids or whatever the case, and it was just Oprah, and she was making 22,000. He was making 50,000. She went into her boss office. It was like, "Hey, can I get a raise? We doing the same job. I need the same money." And he was like, "No." And she was like, "Okay, wait. I'll show you in so many words." That's what her video was about, right? But when it come to me, Mary Lee, and God blessing her with my story in 1984, when I was 17 years old, and I, gave her my child abuse rap, that was the blessing that she was waiting for, right? And then in 1995, when God blessed her again with me, giving her some more of my story, and I told her, not knowing that she was worth almost $500 million at the time, I said, "Look, I know I'm worth more dead than I am alive. Just give me $2 million tax free, and the rest could go to charity." But just like her white boss didn't want to give her nothing, she didn't want to give me nothing. So she threw me on a psych ward, had her people or whatever and stuff. That's when she was Oprah Winfrey, the big social media person or whatever and stuff, and try to make it seem as though, I'm insane. Just like she set up Dave Chappelle, put him on the show, and he turned down, 50 million because they was coming after him or whatever. I mean, people not turning down the money because we don't want it. We turning it down because we don't want to be exploited. You understand what I'm saying? For something we already earned. You understand what I'm saying? And we be trying to let people know it ain't about the money. It's about the fact that you're disrespecting me and trying to, belittle me, minimize my, influence. Even with you, Oprah Winfrey, you would have never been anybody if it wasn't for my story. Real talk. And you set me up, and you did. And now, they pretty much trying to threaten the person, trying to act like they gonna take my Social Security. I don't care nothing about that. My mind is already set to go to heaven and you to go to hell. Real talk, straight up, because I've worked my ass off too much thinking that if you do right, you'll get the American dream, people will respect you, and, live happily ever after. That's not the case. They just want us to work for free. You understand? And once we put that work in, we can't get it back. Even if they pay us, they could take the money back, but we can't get that work we put in back. And that's why people tear up cities and states and shoot up schools and churches and do the most and stuff, real talk. And that's also why Oprah Winfrey show in my city, Chicago, the Oprah Winfrey show, went off the air on my birthday. Real talk. And it's not standing today because she's not doing the right thing. So just like you, Oprah, want what's best for you, I want what's best for me. And definitely for me and my Mary Macavirus and stuff. So Mary Macavirus, we on strike. Real talk. We ain't got nothing for them. Real talk. The homeless are free. They ain't got to pay for nothing. We're not supposed to be paying for anything anyway. When we were slaves, we didn't have to pay for anything. You understand what I'm saying? When you go to prison, this the fine. We don't pay for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So why pay now? And they high as fuck. This the one. I'm the one for a reason. Oprah, you messed up. I stood up for myself at the age of 6 in 1973 for being a child abuse victim, and you was right on deck to finish exploiting me. If I die, believe me, they'll cut you up like surgery and bury you in a herd with no worry. This the 14 money, Mississippi, and feed you to the dogs. Bases loaded if you think I'm lying. This the 2. Me and my higher power got this. We don't need you no more. Step your game up. Peace.